few of the before and after values of the 1964 Mercedes 230 SL. So we've got a chart here showing before and after. And, well, I'll get into some of the idiosyncrasies in a moment, but here we go. It was originally powered from the factory by a 2.3 liter inline 6-cylinder single overhead cam engine, which featured a Bosch mechanical fuel injection. After conversion, it is powered by a 3-phase AC induction motor and has dual 500 amp controllers. Now, the rated power originally from the factory was 150 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. After conversion, 165 horsepower and 189 pound-feet of torque. You've got to remember, that starts at 0 RPMs and goes out to almost 6,000 RPMs. So, huge difference in the way the car feels. Originally, the vehicle had a 17.2 gallon fuel tank, and after conversion, it has a 28.9 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery pack. The dry weight of the vehicle, that's without fluids, with the removable hardtop on, from the factory was 3,008 pounds. When we received the vehicle, it had a 5-liter Ford V8 in it, which is a little heavier than the stock engine. And after conversion, it weighed 3,395 pounds. Weight distribution. Well, we're just talking about a few of the main components here. We'll get into all the details in a bit. The 5-liter Ford V8 weighs 500 pounds. The motor and controllers, we're looking at 190 pounds. And then the front battery pack is 375 pounds for a total of 565 pounds worth the main components up front. In the rear, with a full tank of gas, you're looking at 150 pounds for the fuel tank and the fuel. In the rear, after conversion, we have a rear battery pack and the chargers back there, 280 pounds. So how's all that compare? Well, after conversion, we see a 35 horsepower increase. We see 44 pound-feet increase in torque. And we see a 387 pound increase in weight. And so, like I said, main components, that was a 65 pound increase in the front and a 130 pound increase in the rear, plus 192 pounds total additional weight spread out over the entire conversion. So the weight of the battery racks, motor mount, cooling system, contactors, cabling, a fair amount of cabling in a vehicle like this because you have dual controllers. So instead of having 5 cables go from your controller to a motor, you have 10, and double aught cable is not light. And so, and you have front and rear battery packs, so you have cable running front to rear, so forth. So all that combined, like I said, gave a increase of 387 pounds. The car, when received, had been fairly modified. Like I said, it had a 5-liter Mustang engine. It has a different transmission in it. I don't know what they added to it. It has a 5-speed transmission that's not original to the car. So we didn't weigh the car beforehand, so I don't know the exact before weight, and so that's estimated. So we may not have gained, you know, that much. That's a guess. But we do know the final weight because we weighed the vehicle at a certified scale. It was 3,395 pounds. That we do know. The other thing we do know is we measured all 4 corners for ride height when the vehicle was received, as well as once it was completed. And there was a 1-inch difference in ride height. Now the vehicle had been lowered when we received it. And so it had been lowered in the front and the rear. And so the car sat low. So after conversion and losing an additional inch, it sat even lower. So one of the things we recommended was that the owner raise the car back up to stock suspension, and then it would be slightly lower, probably less than an inch lower than the original ride height. But that's the discretion of the vehicle owner. So, overall impression. I drove the car a few miles with the Ford in it. It was kind of radical. It was, you know, it was kind of fun for a short distance, but it wouldn't be a car you'd want to drive in traffic or every day. It was kind of all or none, and just a little too radical to be fun on a daily basis. Also, it was really crammed in there. The air cleaner and the distributor both were rubbing on the hood, and so the conversion fits in there tight, but it's not making contact with anything. And with the conversion, the ride is very nice. I drove it a couple hundred miles before it was left our shop, and it just had a very, very nice ride. The only shortcoming was that it is low, and so you'd have to watch out on roads that had a lot of deviation to them. But going down the freeway, drove like a dream. Plenty of power for pulling onto the freeway. Cruised really nice. Used less amp hours per mile cruising on the freeway than my Karmann Ghia does, and it weighs 2,200 pounds. So, real nice cruiser. Very nice car, and great looking car, but when all was said and done, it was a great conversion. Took a little bit more engineering because of the close tolerances, but what you got when all was said and done is a beautiful, classic, clean, efficient, reliable car. So well worth the conversion, and we enjoyed doing it. We brought it to you thanks to the owner that allowed us to share the car and conversion process. We enjoyed being able to share it with you because it was something different. And so we do a lot of vehicles that the owners don't want us to make public, and so we don't get to share them. In this case, we did. It was a great car to do that with, and so we are thankful for that. And we hope you enjoyed this video series, and we'll try to find something else unique to share with you in the near future. As always, I appreciate you watching, and enjoy the drive. So here's the 1964 Mercedes 230 SL, ready for delivery. We have the High Performance Electric Vehicle Systems AC 35x2 with dual 1239 controllers. We have 30 kilowatt hours of battery pack. There's 30 cells in the front. And an additional 20 in the rear. It has a trickle charger for maintaining the 12-volt battery if you leave the car for any length of time. It's got a 5 kilowatt charger and a J1772 charger or charge port. It's got dual cooling system. Each controller is individually cooled. Here's the conversion fuse block. Here's the AVC2, safety interlock relay, power relay. Under here are the motor fuses. Here are the contactors, controller contactors, auxiliary batteries in the corner there, radiators in the front, pumps down there. Of course, your main disconnect. Throttle on the other side over here. So it's got your vacuum pump and reservoir, electric power steering.